All right. SUMARI to everybody out there. Y'all know who it is. It's your brother Set. We're on the 80th video, guys. Man, it's been quite a journey, man. If you look at the quality of when I first started out, you know, in my room and stuff. I'm moving up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just at work. But yeah, man, it's your brother Set over here. We're on this 80th video. You know, we're not at 100 yet, but still is 80 videos. I appreciate everybody out there who's been following me. People who've been making comments, people who've been contributing on this road that we're all on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, guys, because I actually have some time. I got a little time. I got a little break before my next class. So, where to start, man? I gotta show you guys some jewelry that I made. I gotta show you guys, talk about some questions. All right, we'll start with the jewelry because the questions are gonna probably be something to get into. So, way back, I put some videos for those of you who are friends with me on Facebook. I had put some, let me say, some necklaces and things that I had made for some bones and stuff, and pretty much it's the same thing, but I've upgraded them. you know, shit is funny over here in Japan because people who know me personally, like, damn man, fucking, these bones and shit you work. That's how I get down, man. Don't worry about it. But so let me tell you guys a little story, right? Not a story, but just my adventure. I had wanted to get an ankh, right? I wanted an ankh pendant. Why? I just wanted it. But no, all jokes aside, in the past I've talked about how everything is conscious and everything has its own form of consciousness. And symbols they also have consciousness. Symbols are alive. So, through your life, on your journey, whatever reality you end up in, especially physical ones, because, once we get back to non-physical, you just manifest whatever you want. But when you're here in a physical reality or any of the other ones that are simultaneous to this one, you might feel the need to represent certain things that you feel connect to you directly. So, one day I was chilling in the house about a week ago, and I started getting these urges to get an ankh pendant. Now, I already have an ankh ring, right? Let me show this to you guys, right? And I may have talked about this in the past. That's my ankh ring, right there. It's, see if I get that to focus. Yeah. It's silver and gold, right? This is all silver. And over here, that's like, I forgot, 14 carats, some shit like that, 18 carat, whatever. And that's a gold, plated, not gold plated, it's actual gold. And then it was put on top. You can see the seam there. So the silver ring, and then the gold piece was put on top of that. So it's not gold plated, it's actual gold. But yeah, that's my ankh ring. And how it came about that is one day I was chilling, and I went to this store that I always go to. And mind you, I'm in Japan, man, so the ankh is not their thing over here. To find one that's of a decent quality, is like a miracle. I mean, you can find some ankhs if you go online with their, you got a place called Rakuten. Rakuten is like their version of Amazon and shit. And, you can find some stuff, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. More details on that. So yeah, I saw this ring, man, and I had to have it. I just had to. Of all the other things that they had to have this ring. So, boom, got that. It wasn't even my size, and I was like, fuck, I'll just rock it as a pinky ring. So that was that. So anyway, last week I was chilling, and I had this feeling came. It was like, you need to get an ankh pendant, man. So I was like, all right, let me go investigate. So I was on a mission, man, and it was like all the stuff that they had. I went to the Rakuten site, and they had a lot of ankhs. Let me give you a little side note. In Japan, a lot of shit goes for crazy buku, ridiculous prices and stuff, man. I don't even know why sometimes, but specific things like that. Like, if it ain't Japanese, it's probably going to run some money. So they had all these crazy things. It was like $200. I'm translating to their money, to US dollars now. But, 300, 4. And I was like, yeah, this is getting crazy, man. And the ones they did have that were reasonable, I just wasn't feeling them. Like, they didn't have that sense of power to them. And, for me, I'm kind of like, when I see it, I'll know it. Like when I see what I want, I'm going to know it at that moment. Because it's not going to be like, the ones I saw was kind of like, oh, well, this is okay. And maybe, need, but it wasn't like I need to have that right now. So around where I work at, there's this store, right? And I've been working here for a minute, maybe almost 10 years. And there's this store in this building I always go to that's been in the corner, this old guy. And, his store looks like, from appearance, it was just Native American stuff, and some Tibetan stuff. So I never even went there, because there's a lot of other stores got the same stuff. So anyway, I'm chilling, and it was like voice kicked in. You guys remember the voice from season 1 when I first started? The voice was like, you need to go check out that store. So I was like, nah, man, they only got Native American stuff. And the voice insisted, trust me, go to the store. So I went, and when I got there, it was like, so I walked in, I was, all this is in Japanese. I'm like, excuse me, do you sell this symbol, the Ankh, and all that? And like I had known, he was like, no, I'm sorry, my store is only for Native American jewelry. I specialize in, Tibetan stuff and all that. So right when I was about to leave, he goes, wait. And like a movie, he starts rummaging around and looking through stuff. And it was funny, right? Because he's a nice old guy. But like, it seemed like something out of a Hollywood movie. He pulls this up and he goes, is this what you seek, my son? And he pulls out this cross. And I was like, yes. And like, going back to what I just said, I know it when I see it. I knew it. I was like, that's what I want. And the thing is, right, so this is the bone necklace. Now, y'all seen this before. I'm always rocking this in my videos, and I posted this up on Facebook some time ago. These come from Africa. It was these snake bones, and I had to rework it because when I originally got it, it was on like straw, and straw, of course, doesn't last from daily use. So I went and had to restring it. And let me just tell you guys how to get creative, man. When you start making stuff, check this out, right? So originally came with straw. I may have talked about this in the past, but bear with me. I took shoestring, man, because like I tried to get a metal chain through it, but they were like, no. I went to this store and like the metal chain, like, oh, it's kind of difficult, and it was all this story. So I was like, you know what? Use my own creativity. So I thought, okay, boom, shoestring, because this shoestring. Now I restrung this. Excuse me. The original shoestring I had, it was still good, but I felt, well, if I'm gonna have to do all this over, I've been rocking this for like what, I don't know, a few years now. I might as well just restring the whole thing and put a fresh string in, because I don't want it breaking on me. So, and the string is durable, man. Like I said, I was rocking it for, I don't know, a few years. So anyway, I got this Ankh here, man. Check this out. Now, this Ankh here is made of bone. Come on, man. How gangster is that? So yeah, it's made of bone. It's from Tibet. And yeah. So I thought it was a good match because, like, I got the bone necklace, which is there. It's the snake bones, and then to finish off with a bone Ankh, I was like, oh hell yeah! And there it is. See, it's kind of thick, nice little thick piece. You see that right there, So when I rock it, now I feel I still need to do some adjustments to it, because like I want it to hang properly. I mean, it's okay, but sometimes I gotta finagle with it a bit. And so you see, I was kind of like going to the side there. Like I wanted to just hang down, straight. I would like to put some metal balls like on the end of this here, but that's another video. Anyway, I'm satisfied with it, man, because I was like, this is what I was looking for. This is what I wanted. And check it, right? All the other stuff I was looking for, I was like, yo, I got it there for $200, $500, and it was just pieces I wasn't feeling. Yo, real bone, it's an Ankh, $5. Come on, man. Come on. So I was like, yo, I had to get it, man. So, and this is just me generally. Like, that's my style. Like, I like rocking unusual shit. I get the bones and all that. So I was like, bone on bone, gotta have it. So, and the other point to make, so the voice told me to go there. And this store, he was like, I don't even know why I have this in Japanese, because Tibetan, they're not really into the Egyptian religion. Like, they have their own Buddhism and all their own stuff, but the Ankh doesn't really fall within their paradigm of belief, as far as I know. Maybe it does for some, but even he was like, I don't even know why this is here, man. But hey, it's for you, $5. I was like, okay. So that was that. Then I started getting crazy. I was on a mission, man. I was hunting. Then I came across, check this out. Now, y'all seen this before, right? Now this one, the original, is also bone. I had to restrain this up too. And hold on, so you gotta get that in there. Yeah. Now, originally, I had just the 3 feathers on it. It's got the 2 feathers and the one in the center that's a little skull on the middle feather. I came across a set pendant. See that? I don't know if the camera can focus on. Let me tap that. Boom. Yeah, it might not come up clear or not, but maybe I'll put some pictures on Facebook and stuff. But those are 2 small pendants, 925 silver, of Egyptian god set. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? It's like, we had that video back, the last video I think I was talking about Trickster God set and all this stuff. And it's like, I've talked in the past about how, like, once you start, associating with certain belief systems, thoughts, whatever it is, these things start reaching out to you and stuff. For example, if you start getting into voodoo and you feel voodoo is your thing and you want to work with the spirits and the Loa, next thing you know, Papa Legba's reaching out to you. You're walking down the street, there's a Papa Legba statue here, Papa Legba painting over there. You might run into a Barone Samedi something, and you start coming into all this stuff. So, the energies are out there and they're always looking for recognition. They want to be remembered, especially these ancient ones, man. They don't want to be forgotten, so they find ways to get at you. But yeah. So I know it's not coming out as clear, but you guys get the general point, man, how it is. So when I rock this, and I had to do all this, man, I had to restring it. These 2 metal balls here were originally, like 2 of them were on the other necklace, but I took them off because I had to balance out these 2 sets on both sides, so when it hangs, they would be like both in the center, well, they're both facing that way, but touching the feathers and all that. But yeah, man, that's my charm piece that I made. Oh no, I'm hiding the middle feather. Yeah, there it goes. There you go. It's the middle feather there. So we got that, and then we got the bone on. Like I said, this one's still work in process. See how it's like twisting, man? I don't like that. But I'm gonna fix it. Y'all know I'm gonna fix it. I might fix it. Who knows? I might get used to it and say, fuck it, I'll leave it like that. But yeah, like that. So the point of that whole little gist is make your own jewelry, guys, man. Whatever you're into, it doesn't matter. You can just buy stuff. I know that's easier, but there really is it's a spiritual process, if you want to call it that. If you don't like the word spiritual, you could call it a psychic process, or you could call it a consciousness process, the consciousness development process. And, easily I could just go in a store and say, all right, I'm going to buy this necklace and that's it. But, when you actually sit down and you take the time and, it's like all this stuff, man, like it takes time. I have to take all these off and I have to line them up perfectly so they all go into each other. And it's like, think of, for example, just think like Star Wars, right? Like every Sith, every Jedi, they make their own lightsaber, right? So it's the same deal. You get your own goods and you just start making things, and once it's a complete, you feel the power behind it. This isn't something that was made in a factory, mass produced. This is something that you put your own, time into to develop it. And when you wear it with pride, because it's like, this is what I made. Ain't nobody gonna be rocking this. As crazy as it is, like I know most people don't want to wear bone necklaces and goods, but I can have confidence that when I walk down the street, what I'm saying, I know that, yeah, I'm rocking stuff that I made. Now, of course, I didn't make the silver pieces and all that. I didn't cut the bone. But you know what I'm trying to say, man. You wear things that you produce yourself and the creativity behind it. And you just feel good, you feel good. Yeah, man, this is my shit that I made. Ain't nobody gonna have this. And if you saw somebody the exact same thing, that's a miracle in itself. So that's also good. But yeah, so make your own jewelry, make your own goods. You can start off small too, man. It's like, I'm not the most, when it comes to jewelry, so I'm not like the super creative person who could just start making rings and silver and all that. But we all have portions of ourselves that are creative, and if you tap into them, you'll find your creative energy, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that difficult to come up with, all right, get a shoestring and put it through and then throw these charms on it. But how many people don't do that? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, well, what do I do? What can I do? I can't find anything on the internet. And then they give up, So that's on that note. Now, moving along. So I got some other stuff before I have to go. Some other things I want to touch on. That's fine. I'm blocking the camera. I got some other stuff I want to touch on. Y'all won't see anything. All right. Anyway, so we got this. Now, questions. There's been some questions on YouTube. Probably from my last video. Oh man, I made a mistake. I actually cut off what video is from, but it doesn't matter. It's from within the last 2 videos or something. So one video, somebody wrote, "Hey Seth, I had a question that I want to ask you. I would appreciate it a lot if you could answer this question. For those who commit suicide, are there consequences for that or no?" Oh man, I think they had said more, but pretty much that's the general gist of it. I talked about that in the past in some other videos, suicide, and pretty much what I said was, it was about individuals who want to commit suicide, and I said that, the most you could do for them is just try to give them that support to not do it and give them some reasons for not leaving this reality. But, at the end of the day, you can't really stop a person from doing it. If a person's set on dying, there's nothing you're going to say to them to change their mind. I mean, if they're like 100% set, I'm going to do this. I'm not saying that don't give up. I'm not saying don't stop trying to help them, especially loved ones. I'll never say that. Never. You always got to support loved ones and try to get them, not to go that route. But, as far as consequences and stuff, see, I got to be careful when I drop info like this, because I don't want to say there are no consequences and then people think, oh, he's advocating suicide. He's saying I can kill myself. But, the whole suicide process is a lot more complicated than people think. When people commit suicide, they go, he was a coward, she was a coward, she was afraid. But it's subjective. You don't know what's going on in that person's life, that individual's life. If you have a disease that there's no signs of a cure, no signs of hope, and you're in extreme pain, yeah, of course, you want to get out of here, and people telling you, no, you have to stay. The love of God wants you to stay. What about Jesus? And all these other things. It's like, you're not hearing that shit, man. I'm in pain. You're not living in my body. I want to get out of this reality and return to the source and move on to do other things. So, as far as consequences, there really aren't any consequences. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me and go, no, you're going to go to hell. You're going to burn in purgatory. But, the consequence that you face is, it's like, why are you doing it? Why would you want to kill yourself? What are the reasons behind it? Do you have a legitimate reason? Do you want to leave this place because of some belief system that is not even true, or are you limiting yourself? I said in the past, if you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, I want to die now, she left me. I mean, that's not really a good reason, because you're limiting your reality to that one person was your whole reality. And now that they want to leave or they're gone, now you feel that you want to die. There's no other reason to live. But, it really is subjective, man. You guys know me by now. I don't go into the whole, if you do this, you're going to burn for eternity, you're going to be stuck in all that. But it really is like, I can say this much. Check it. Let's say if you do commit suicide and you don't know about any of the shit that I've been talking about for these 80 videos, yeah, you're going to run into some real hell-like scenarios. I'm not saying that to scare you, but it's true. Because it's like, if you haven't understood that the nature of reality and that all reality is basically, thought projected, and that you have, these talents and these skills and you can manifest things. If you don't know any of that, and you broke up with my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my man, or whatever, my wife left me, I want to die now, and you haven't gotten into any of this stuff that we've been talking about all this time, guess what? What do you think? You're going to just kill yourself and then, oh, great, now I'm in heaven, now I'm in this. I'm not saying 100% guaranteed that you're going to end up in hell or some scenario, but most likely, you're probably not going to know what's going on. There are individual entities and forms once you leave physical reality that try to assist you, and there's always help. You're never just left alone. There's always going to be personalities in non-physical reality that are there to assist anything, or consciousness forms, life forms that leave physical reality, to help them readjust to the new situation. But all that help, just like no one could help you over here. This is the important part. Listen, just like no one was able to get through to you on this side, why do you think it's going to be any different if you go to the other side? If all the love of family members and friends could not prevent you, could not help you to see clearly, to see that your situation wasn't as dire and you didn't need to leave, if that couldn't get through to you, once you get to the other side, one, it's going to be frightening because there's going to be things happening like all the negative thoughts that you held on to. Those things are going to just be manifest or whatever. Demons, devils, scenarios. It's all going to be coming out. And the thing is, it's your power. And because you never learned to get a hold of yourself, get a hold of your power, learn what you really were, you're going to have these other individuals on the other side saying, no, wait, listen, this is what happened. You're in a new reality. You no longer, you died. And you're not going to be hearing any of that. Because your own power is going to be seeing them as demons trying to trick you, the underworld, or whatever. Or you might just manifest yourself into another reality that seems physical. And you're going to play that out for a long time. I've said this many times. You're not stuck in that scenario forever, but it will feel like forever, because there is no time. So if you haven't gotten a hold of this stuff, man, you want to go kill yourself. You got a lot of work ahead of you, man. And a lot of you might think it's easier to do it once you leave physical reality, but it is, if you know this stuff that we've been talking about for all these videos. But if you have no idea, just like most of the people in this reality have no idea about any of this stuff, you never talked about it, guess what? You're in for a ride, man, because it ain't gonna seem fun when your own projections are fucking chasing you around in the other realms. So yeah, that's my thought. That's all I gotta say about suicide, man. Now, moving on. Next question. Where is it? Okay, so this is a long one from, I don't know how to pronounce his name, man. Feej333, but it's spelled PHEJ 333, 333, PHEJ 333. All right, so this was like 5 days ago. All right, man, or woman, doesn't matter. We're all the same. He or she wrote, one of my favorite videos of yours. This was awesome. Having met various tricksters, I found that super interesting. Man, I have been struggling lately on something. I'm a huge fan of Seth, Create Your Own Reality, etc. And in this video you mentioned numerous times our own powers. But for some things, it seems like no matter what you do, you can't get what you want. Reality slaps you in the face. When you and Seth talk about this stuff, I don't know. I used to believe it. I really did. But it didn't change anything. So what is up with these limits? If everything is really limitless, why do some things seem to not respond to belief at all? Metaphysically, I believe that this world is like a dream. I study Taoism. I've read all the OGs. I've listened to videos like yours. I get it. But it doesn't seem to change anything. Any advice? That's a really good question, man. That's a really, really good question. I've gotten a lot of questions like this, even in private, Facebook, email, all this shit, where everybody's like, yo, man, I hear what you're saying. I got it. Create your own reality, but it's just not working for me. Man. One problem, one thing is like, and I'm not saying this about you, the comment I just read, PHJ333, but, one of the main problems is that Hollywood, I've talked about this in the past, I'm deja vu, but I've talked about this, but Hollywood does a big disservice, man, because, like, it shows us all these movies, like The Matrix, and we have all these dramas that come on, like Legion, which I like Legion. We got all these dramas, and they talk about, like, you manifest your own reality and all that, but that puts a kind of spin on it, because then you start thinking, well, okay, I read all these books, I heard all this, I believe it, but I can't make my own world, I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's like, all I could do is say the same thing I've been saying over and over again, is that no matter how powerful you are, you're not going to just start manifesting things out of nothing. Not in the way that it's portrayed on TV or movies. You're not going to fly around. You're not going to levitate. You're not going to do any of that stuff in this reality. You can do it. in non-physical realities. But here, it's not gonna happen. Now, let me just see changing things. What's with the limits? No matter what you do, you can't do. Get what you want. I'm about to say something, right? And it's gonna sound really weird because a lot of people don't think this way. But what we really need, what most individuals need, is a complete shift in consciousness. Always need a shift in consciousness, but there has to be a shift in the way of thinking, man. Like, as far as for this specific kind of these type of questions. And it's like, you can have anything you want. You know, I mean, that comment is true. I'm trying to see how to break this down, right? You can have literally anything you want. The question is, what reality do you want it in? That's the big question, you know, because it's like, if you're very adept in the stuff that I've been talking about, and some of you are, where we do manifest anything we want, we do get the things we want. Brother Akatili SUMARI, love to you, man. He talked about in his video, he went deep into, you know, sex and how he went into it, you know, and it's like, he gets all the beautiful women he wants. He gets all the situations he wants, and he doesn't pay for it. Like, he's not going to prostitutes. He's not putting out money. He's not going to the strip club. He just gets these things. And it's like, his video on that is really deep. If you are an adept and you read between the lines of what he's saying, it's not about him going around saying, oh, I want to get women. I want to get sex. I want to get this. He's already manifesting these things in non-physical realities. So am I, and so are many of the others that are watching this who know what I'm talking about. And because we manifest these things in other realities, it comes to us in this reality. It's like a byproduct, you know, it's like the thought manifested in some way or form. So it's like, you need, and everyone, you guys need to start thinking about, yes, you can have everything you want, but what reality do you want it in? Because it's like, if you want a sports car, and you're like, I gotta have a sports car, gotta get a Ferrari, gotta get a Lamborghini and all that. You know, all this stuff, all The Secret, The Power of Thought, all those, you know, those things kill me sometimes. It's like, I don't care how much you think about a Ferrari. That shit ain't gonna just manifest and boom, you got a Ferrari now. Someone's gonna say, hey, here's a free Ferrari, kid, have fun. Shit don't work like that, man. I mean, it could, but, you know, the chances are rare. And then the next part of that is like, why do you want this Ferrari? Why do you want this sports car? Do you want it because you see this, back again, symbols, as some type of symbol of reality, that if I have this, I'll look cool, or I'll be extra gangster and people will like me, and it's seen as a status symbol? You know, that's what you need to question. Why do you want these things in this reality? And this is for anything that you want. Why do you need to have it in physical reality to enjoy it? Let me give you guys something to think about, right? Check this out. Thought, right? When we think about thought, events, and I may have touched on this in the past, things that happen in the past. And when I say past, not just way back, I'm talking like things that even happened yesterday, last year, a vacation, something that happened. You only have the memory of that. It's gone. It's done. It's already happened. It's not in existence anymore. It's already happened as far as you're concerned, for your level of awareness. But you still feel good about it. You know, oh man, yeah, it was that time I met that girl in the club. Yo, it was chilling, man. Took me back to a place. We had a good time. But that event's gone. The girl's gone. She's probably with another guy or another woman. She's gone. You've gone your way. But you still relive that moment. You still feel good. You still feel like a king. You know, if you're a woman, you still feel like the queen. Doesn't matter. Whatever you believe you are in this reality, you feel good. And the thing is, it's like, what exactly are you holding on to? What is this good feeling that you're getting? You know, are they just pulses in the brain, electromagnetic signals? I mean, what is it? Now, here's where it gets tricky. You could... One, this is good. I gotta break this down to many parts. One, you could relive those moments anytime you want, as if you're actually back in that moment and enjoy it to the fullest. The key is, though, is like, you're gonna have to do some deep meditation work, visualization. You're gonna have to up your game, get your powers working, man. But, all right, for me, for example, right? This is just a little exercise you guys can do. Anytime you experience something where you feel, for example, this is the best time of my life, this is the greatest thing I've ever experienced. It could be anything. It could be having a fucking cheeseburger. It's the best cheeseburger you ever have, the best sexual experience, just a good family moment. In that experience, at that moment, you need to become self-aware of everything that's happening at that time. And I mean everything. I'm talking about when you feel at the height of your exhilaration, you have to go stop for a moment, freeze time in your mind, look around, take it all in. The feeling of the wind blowing on your face, the feeling of, the sand beneath your feet or the grass, or the feeling of someone's touch, their smell. Everything, the sunlight, the way the sun is beaming down, you pull it all in, you absorb it, absorb that reality's moment. Because at another point, when that experience has moved on and it's over, you will be able to go into your trance state, go into your meditation, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be able to jump back to that moment and relive it. And this is what I can do and what many others can do. You see, let me give you guys a secret, man. You got these monks, you got the Tibetan monks, and pretty much monks and all throughout history. And you look at them, right? And, from your perspective, they're sitting in the temples, they're chanting Om, and they're doing all this stuff, or they're always meditating. Like, man, what is this person achieving? On one level, some of them, it's just a spiritual practice, and, they go into their Zen, and that's where they are. But for others, it's a trip. But some of the other ones, they've already surpassed the teachings of the Buddha, the teachings of, Krishna, the teachings of whoever they're following. Many of them secretly have already gone past that. And they're actually, when you think they're just sitting there meditating and just lost in darkness, they're actually chilling. They're off in other realms, they're off in other realities, call it this astral realm, spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it. They're already in these other realities. A lot of them, monks are supposed to be celibate, but a lot of them are having sexual experiences like no one could ever imagine. They're actually enjoying all this stuff. This is why you see, they say they give up all earthly possessions. They don't care about a sports car. They don't care about rocking a roller. They don't care about none of that shit because it doesn't matter to them. They go into their meditation state and they take off and they just get whatever they want to get and they experience it to the fullest. And when they come back here, the average Joe, the non-adept, the naysayer, looks at him and goes, he doesn't know anything. Look at him. He's just a dirty bunk, or he's just, sitting down chanting. What does he have? Look at all the spoils of my conquests and all that. But they have more than you do. And back to the question. It's like, yeah, you could have whatever you want, but where do you want it at? And if you want to have it in this physical reality, the real question is why are you so set on needing to have it in this reality? Why can't you be just as satisfied with it in a non-physical form, the experience itself? Because like I said, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. All your experiences that you've had in your life up to this point in this physical reality, they're all just memories now. But you still relive them. They make you feel good. They make you feel positive. And you have all these fond memories of something that's basically, it's non-physical. It's not even in existence anymore. So, when you, going back to SUMARI, his sexual encounters, when you come to another level of understanding that I can have anything I want, non-physically, in another realm, because I understand that the non-physical realms are just as real as the physical one. The only difference is that they're not as solid. When you get to that level where you can experience these things in non-physical realities, then the ripple effect is that they start manifesting themselves here in physical reality. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys, but yeah, basically, whatever you want to have, you see it happening already, man. You experience it, you get those visualizations. It's not just visualization. I mean, yeah, initially it probably starts as visualization, as a thought. But once you really badly want whatever it is, and you're dead set on this, and you focus, and man, my lips are dry, man. Always got dry lips in these videos, man. It's humid and shit. Anyway, let me get some water. Hold that thought for a minute. Water from Poseidon himself. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Anyway, so yeah, man. Those are some things you guys gotta think about. Where do you want to experience this at? Why do you need to have it here in physical reality? Why not manifest it in non-physical reality first? Get that enjoyment, and then, you know, because look, man, I said this before. Obviously, I'm not rich. I'm not rolling in dough. I'm not a big ball. I'm not none of that, man. You know, this physical reality is a pretty average life as far as money's going. You know, I'm not the kingpin of Japan and all that. You know, I live on a pretty basic wage. You know, it's enough for me to get by, and I'm all right now at this stage in this physical life. But at the same time, it's like a lot of things that people stress over and try to get, it doesn't matter to me because, all right, let me give you guys just something to think about. Like, okay, traveling is nice, right? It's nice to have a little vacation with the kids, Hawaii and all that. It's all nice. But a lot of people, people that know me personally, we talk like, oh man, you never want to travel. Why you don't want to go to Hawaii? Why you don't want to? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of places I would like to go. Yeah, I want to go to Egypt, see the pyramids. But that's on a physical level. You know, non-physically, I travel all the time. So it's like, for people who don't travel non-physically, but people who are not into this type of information that we're talking about, for them, a trip is the closest thing they're going to get to breaking out the norm of whatever their usual lifestyle is. For me, I'm always in that realm. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in these other realms, constantly, at all times. I'm always there. So, you know, spending $2,000, $3,000 to go to Hawaii for, 4 days and sit on a beach and, skydive and then come back, that shit don't impress me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all that's like, somebody was like, oh, I went to Hawaii, you need to get out. Well, I went to Hawaii and I did skydiving. It only costs, $300 or whatever they said. And I'm like, yeah, but I do that shit every night. I do it anytime I want. I just got to get, all I need is a quiet space. And not even that, because once you get to this level I'm at, you just do it anytime you want. You go into that reality, and that's just on a side note. Like, I've always said things like you got to get a quiet spot, go into your headspace. But that's really for beginners. On a more advanced level, you don't even have to close your eyes anymore. You pull those experiences in and you feel them. You get, oh man, this shit's heavy. But all right. I get excited when I talk about this stuff, man, because like it's real, and it's just how it is, I don't know any other way to say it, man. You get naysayers, skeptics, whatever the fuck you want. He's lying, he's just experiencing neurological disorder. It's all whatever, man. This is what is happening. And if you're not on this level, it's like I said in the past, trying to talk to a virgin about sex. I don't care how many porno videos you watch. I don't care how many times you read the Kama Sutra. If you never had sex, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, these experiences, you gotta experience it for yourself, man. Because if not, you just, I can make 1,000 videos talking about lucid dreams, how to astral travel, and all that. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is your personal experience. Now, once you've experienced it, then maybe my videos could assist you in going deeper. And that's the real purpose of all these videos, is really to help trigger most individuals who haven't had these experiences. Hopefully I could trigger them into having them. And the ones who are already on their, way on their journey, to help them go deeper and go even further into, the dark arts, And dark arts meaning not just evil black magic. I'm talking about the dark arts, the arts that we perform, most of the time within darkness. Or, it could be any time, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. I talked about that already, but yeah, man. So it's just some things to think about, man. Fortunately, we still got some time before this next person comes in for class. And this is going to be, like I said, it's kind of a long video. It's almost 40 minutes. I think recently I've been making just like 20, 30-minute videos. So, yeah. So let's recap a bit. we talked about jewelry. I went into my whole little bit about make your own stuff. Once again, that's my ankh and my snake bone necklace. And we come over here. We got I got my nice little set pendant that I made right there. I'll put that there. Right now it's going like that, but when I rock it, it usually just falls straight. The 3 feathers, got the 2 sets right there. Yeah, look at that. You know what I'm saying? I got that. And there's anything else? Yeah, you make your own jewelry, get creative, try to make something. I mean, you don't have to make jewelry, but if you, especially for those who fall more within the realm of, belief as far as magic and all this mystical stuff, just make your own shit, man. I mean, you could go to a local store and buy a crystal and do all that, but trust me, you feel much better if you just make your own stuff, or at least, buy the required, pieces, whatever you feel that's necessary. You can buy them from these stores, and then, you work it up some way, man, make your own stuff. But, covered that, talked about suicide. As far as suicide goes, if whoever sent me the comment, I think it's Yami Light and anybody else, if you're contemplating suicide, I'm not going to say, don't do it or do that, you're an individual, man. You have your own life to live. You're a conscious being. You're an entity. You're a multidimensional power, a force in the universe. All I gotta say is, if you are thinking about it, what's your reason for doing it? Why do you want to leave this reality? Do you have a good reason? Are you just, being lazy? Are you being weak-minded? Are you letting someone else force you to do it? Maybe getting bullied at school? Whatever it is, is it justified? Do you have some serious illness and there's no cure for it? You're in extreme pain and you're ready to move on from this physical reality. There are many reasons, man. So, it's something to think about. And finally, manifesting your own reality. Like I've said many times, don't get discouraged, man. Don't get discouraged about, not being able to manifest things here in this reality. What are you trying to manifest here? Because a lot of times, a lot of the stuff that you guys are trying to pull in is something that's not really even necessary, or even worse, it's something that you're just trying to manifest it because, in the views of others, this gives you some kind of position in society. This gives you some kind of status, whatever it is, and you feel you need to have that. Telling you, man, I used to spend a lot of money on bullshit, man, and it's like, you get to this level where you start just thinking about things, and you're like, do I really need this? If it's something crazy expensive. I'm not saying don't shop, everybody like to shop, including me. But now it's like, when I buy things, it's like, how much am I going to be looking at this thing once I purchase it? Am I going to buy this and look at it for a day or a week or a month and then never look at it ever again? Or, I like jewelries, as you guys know. If you didn't know, I like rings and I like chains. And for me, it's like, I wear them because I like to get these things because I can actually wear them and walk around with them. And when I look down, I see where my money's gone. Something that's gonna just go on the shelf and I'll never look at it again. It's like, okay, well, that's nice, but shit, I haven't seen this thing in 10 years. But yeah, why do you want to manifest this stuff here in this reality, man? Look, you guys, they tell us all the time, it's all out there. Nothing's really hidden anymore, man. Excuse me, we talked about that TV show, Legion. Legion's out. It's almost finished. You got the final episode coming up next week. Like I said, it's a drama, and it's based on a comic book, but a lot of times they give you all the signs, all the truths mixed within. You have to be able to watch these things and differentiate between what's the sci-fi BS and what are they actually trying to tell you. And pretty much, I mean, you look at the character, David Haller, they call he's an Omega level mutant. I just saw one of the previews. He's a world breaker. He can do this. He can do that. That's pretty much all of us, man. But once again, at least from the drama, they don't really know. Is this stuff happening in the real world? Is it just manifestation? Is he creating these other things? A lot of people who are deep into this information, they'll watch that and see all the signs. People who are not, they just don't get it. It's like, I looked at some reviews, right? A lot of reviews for like the episodes, and you hear the people reviewing it say the same shit. Everyone's going, I don't know, I like it, but I don't know what's going on. What's going on? We're confused. What reality are they in? I'm so confused. I have no idea what's going on. Every reviewer has been saying the same shit. I'm confused. What's going on? Everything doesn't have to be logical, man. Just shut up, sit down, and watch it and enjoy it and think. Use your mind, use your brain, use your consciousness. See it for what it is. Everybody wants things now explained to them. You can look at dramas now. The old dramas are dying out. People need to be, people want to be hit. This is why this Legion drama is so big right now, and everyone's going, oh, I don't know what's happening, but I really like it because the old school shit is dying, man. Like the usual villain of the week. We're gonna go out. We have to catch this bad guy. We're gonna have a big shootout. We're gonna have a machine gun fight. That is, like that 80s action shit. You see, Legion has changed it up, man. They're going to a whole new realm. They're dealing with alternate realms of reality and manifesting reality, astral realm. It's all coming here, man. It's not by accident. Whoever these directors are and things like that, this is what their visions are. They're tapping into the energy and the best they could, they're putting out here in, the media. But all these stories, man, all the stories of the Bibles, all the ancient texts, all the stories of the gods, and I include comic book and superheroes, even of modern day, into those same categories. They're all talking about us. But a lot of things they're talking about are feats that are achieved in non-physical reality. Now, when you go wrong as when you start saying, well, I want to do this in the real world. I want to do this and that. I want to, manifest my, I want to levitate. I want to fly. But anyway, I got to get out of here, man. People are coming in and shit, man. This is a long video. You guys tell me what you think. Write some comments. And it's your brother Seth. Love y'all. Take care.